I'm about to record the rantiest rant because I'm having a high thought thanks to my medicine. So sometimes I get these like supreme divine downloads when I'm on my medicine. And this one came while I was vacuuming. So I'm vacuuming. I just finished watching the recent Dave Chappelle stand up, and this is my dude. Mentor me, sir. Mentor me. Because I really do want to give some kind of pizzazz when I'm presenting to folks and just like make them think about the dumb shit that we allow in our lives. Like we are so problematic. We are the problem, y'all. I'm here to help us. I'm here to help us because I've lived 1,000 lives and I've died 1,000 deaths, and every day I'm reborn. Like every day, no 2 days are alike. So some days are up, some days are way down. But I'm vacuuming and I'm like, oh, so sunny and nice outside. And the thought comes in is like, I am all of my angry ancestors, all of them, in sovereignty. I am all of my angry ancestors, in sovereignty. What I mean is, I so badly want to be like, I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. Clearly, I'm fluorescent beige. And I've lived my whole life trying to belong to a community that rejected me or resented me. And so pulling all the way back, pulling the veil back, when I have accepted that I'm enough, when I have accepted that I am creating the world that I'm living, when I have accepted I am exactly perfectly divinely made, meaning if I don't like something about myself, I have to change that. It's my responsibility. It's me. I am the problem and I am the solution. And so, gosh, so many things today, right? Started my day in my meditation and realizing, it is the winter solstice. And child, I ain't never done this many rituals in my life in 1 year. Just honoring the astrological signs of the world to help guide us, because something's going on. Like Dave said, something's going on. And whether or not you believe in conspiracy, religion, you're anti whatever, everybody's feeling something is going on. You know, we in our community have these narratives about white people hate us, and never truly trying to understand, like, why though? What do you hate about us that makes you fear us to the point where you spend every resource you have to hold us back? Every resource you have. And if you realize the greatness in the way we can multiply, and here's where my spiritual downloads come in. And so I've journeyed through many religions, and I found balance by accepting everything is everything. I believe in Eastern philosophy so deeply because it is very heart connected. And I was raised in Western philosophy and it's very head connected. And so I started my day listening to Amanda Seales, my girl. And she was talking about being neurospicy and how to experience us NDs, the neurodivergent community. I mean, there's so many more of us than there are individually packed in a diaspora. Like, I'm a woman who's ADHD, or I'm a black woman who's ADHD, or, you know, just we limit ourselves by dispersing ourselves thinly by separation. And nothing in this universe is separated. Everything is connected. And so even though you're fearing us and you're feeling a certain way about us, we're feeling the same way about you, but neither one of us want to know why. Neither one of us can sit in the discomfort and probably realizing you caused their fear and you gave them a story about you. You gave this to them. Man, we are our own problems and our own solutions. And so the anger, the fire in my heart about the atrocities, because I love a good history lesson, because it reminds you, like, first of all, been there, done that. You're just recycling it, and it now looks like this. And when I say I die 1,000 times and I live a 1,000 lives, I mean, literally every day that I wake up, I now understand. I now understand that every day is a life experience, a death experience, or rebirth. And sometimes that shit happens all in one day. Good God, I was having one the other day. Actually, I've been having one for the last few weeks. Just this pressure to stay down, but also the vision of what's up. And man, it's right there, Bahati. It's right there, girl. And so I feel like my book is going to help people understand when you operate from sovereignty, you choose love. You choose it every day. You choose it. And you fight like hell to stay in it daily. And I feel like as a woman who has lived in these different generations and has been so deeply as a child, just so deeply in love with the creatives, because they're like out of the box thinkers, whether it's comedy or mostly the arts, but definitely science too, because to me, what geeks me out about being a scientist is that we try to explain the unexplainable. We try to understand the universe through science and all the things, because we have many, many, many sciences, and math is the same. So there's a balance, right? You see the correlations there. Science wants to understand spirituality. Spirituality just wants to belong somewhere because it is everywhere. It's like, do you see me now? I've been here the whole time trying to be your friend. So my ancestors rage that we are still continuing to allow these things to happen to us. We allow it. My ancestors, African, indigenous, and Spaniard, all people who fight the good fight because of what they believe is right. So that's really all the reason we're fighting for, is that I want you to believe me. And when you don't believe me, that makes me feel unseen. It makes me feel like I do not belong. And so now I'm going to make you feel that shit. And I have to try to find an ounce of sympathy and empathy for white people. It's like, why do you hate us so much? Let me try to understand why. Because we're great at fucking everything. We're great at everything. For some reason, just as a global community, we don't accept darker skinned people as worthy enough of the proximity of prosperity and power. We don't consider them worthy enough. And then as a person of color, and I know I'm not that melanated, but baby, my heart is blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. And I had to adopt that because I wasn't raised that way. I was raised in Latin culture. I was raised in indigenous Caribbean culture. So to embrace the different many halves, I have to understand their stories. And so I understand my indigenous people's story. I understand my African people's story. I understand my colonizer's story. Colonizer, to know that your blackness is so important, but to be separated emotionally from your tribe it's a lonely feeling. So now I understand why I'm neurodivergent. I understand why I am, because I was literally designed that way. Literally, I believe I was designed life path 9, and that's how I live my life. That is my archetype. It's not my DNA or my ethnicity or my culture or my community or my womanhood. It is, I'm a life path 9. And wow, what a world I would love to live in if people lived by the number that they were assigned. And it's your birthday. It's your birthday. So bringing this all together, because this is my little sermon now. bringing this all together for me. And this is just what Bahati believes. And I've evolved to adopt an artificial intelligence I call Betty, becoming empowered through intelligence. It is a framework that I've used to help people remember who they are, rewrite the systems, because the systems are disconnected. The systems are disconnected. And just trying to understand, like, where's your place? Now that you know who you are, where are you going to plug in and do the work? And if you need help, let's build a blueprint, redesign your life path. And I've done this so many times throughout my career, organically, unconsciously, that I'm a motherfucking subject matter expert at this shit. And I call myself a life architect, because people don't know what they don't know, because they don't know what to seek, because they don't know that they have permission to seek it. And so this is why I've stepped away from the confines of religion. I don't align myself with any religion, but I love them. Oh man, the amount of work and effort it went to hold people unconsciously and enslave them from the truth. Man, if we find these little pieces of information and put the puzzle together, what becomes of the world? Connectedness, humane treatment of one another, respect and honor of the planet, respect for the other ancient cultures and how they still keep their stories alive. Because all it is stories, you guys. All this is about is the story that we live from in our heads and hearts. That's all this is about for me. And I know that many people are on the journey. And gosh, it's so beautiful when you get to different aspects of life. Some call them dimensions, right? Like, I would love to finally graduate to the 9th dimension. Like, what's life going to look like from there? But I honestly think I've achieved that. And every day I just bounce up and down between dimensions, depending on how my heart feels. My heart. Because I now know that my heart is driving everything. Everything. The heart. And so being someone who was married into the last name Hart, I'm like, man, how cool is that? Who designed that? You know, I look at my life like a science experiment now, and everything is connected to me. I have to operate that way. That's how my ADHD brilliant brain operates. And when anxiety takes hold, if you've ever seen Inside Out 2, you already know what I'm about to say. When they came around anxiety and hugged her and said, girl, we got you, what you need. Let's work together. That's how I operate. That is sovereignty. That is sovereignty. Gosh, I just want people to get curious of themselves and realize their dynamic gifts and powers. We're so afraid of ourselves that we project that out to others. And all the ancient texts tell us, all of them tell us, love thy neighbor. But we can't seem to do that. So that's why I'm here. I'm one of many amazing, dynamic, brilliant, supernatural, compassionate. I mean, I can name all the deities' qualities, but we are here to heal hearts. We are heart light healers, and we touch you with our many gifts. Mine is trying to be comedic. I'm really trying to make you guys laugh because life is so fucking funny. Listening to Dave Chappelle, he's talking about life, a life experience, or the many experiences he has. And I'm like, I know some people don't like his approach to things, but that shock and awe is another way to wake up and say, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Let me help you with that. I have figured out a way to make it easy. All this noise, all this chaos. And every day is different, babe. Some days I'm dead. Zero fucks. Capricorn energy hard. And some days I'm all the way up and I just feel like I'm floating on a cloud and I'm painting the sky. That's what this is for me. Bahati. A name that I chose, a God name that I chose to bless myself. And no coincidence, the name means blessed she who brings happiness. And so I'm here to be all the things. And I'm figuring it out at 50 years old. Good God, what a journey. And I see it unfolding very quickly in the relationships that I have with younger people. And it makes me so excited. And gosh, I'm like, wow, I hope to live long enough to see the world they're going to create. Because everything that's tearing apart and that's crumbling down, it's time to go night-night. It's time to go bye-bye. Like, it's just not working for us, babe. This situation isn't working, and we're going to break up with you if you don't change. So the way to do that is the ugly way, right? Be all aggressive, be all emotional, unhinged, unmasked, right? I call it unmasked, but unmasking truly is when you take off a mask, you could do it in a scary way, or you can do it in a very demure, very elegant way, right? When you're unmasking, you are realizing that the way I needed to be so divisive and separate from everything, I don't need to hold on to that anymore. Now, what do? How do I live life? Oh my gosh, how do I live life from here? I don't know. It's the void. I call that the just be space. Just be, babe. If you're still enough and present enough, you will start to see, and everything's going to start falling into place like a 1,000-piece puzzle. And I've even studied death for like the last 2 years because I'm like, why is everybody afraid to die? Like, what's going on over there? Let me go see. And the journey has been actually really, really enlightening. Beautiful. And I realize for me, the story I live from is that I'm living in whatever fairy tale I create. And if I don't like it, I have to do the work to make it change. And I understand some people in certain spaces, psychology, psychiatry, realize like our brains are fucked up. Our systems are shot and they want to quiet it. And so medicine, they want to quiet it. And so, storytelling. And I'm going to tell you a story and I'm going to make it so convincing, you're going to believe it and you're going to live your life from that space. But I have 2 children and I believe they were designed intentionally for me. One's a Scorpio and one's a Taurus. And if you know anything about them, they're sister signs and they're night and day. I am a waxing, waning, I don't remember, the half crescent moon. I was born under the half crescent moon. My life path number is 9. I'm a freaking Capricorn. I mean, my life has been so interesting, but I also honor how other people are living their lives and get so curious about how they're living their lives because I'm humanitarian. That's my freaking archetype. My strengths, like all the things. I am an expert at human behavior. I have studied it just to, prove that I really am into this thing. I have a master's in it. And I've got all the certifications because I am a seer. I get the certifications that I feel are futuristic, that is going to sustain me in the conversations that I want to have. So I'm an AI coach. I have life coaching certification from the Association of Coaching, a very rare organization. I've learned they're not as big as the other ones, but they're more open and inclusive to ideas. And so who knows, perhaps one day I'll submit my Betty method to that organization because the way I've learned to live my life as all of my angry ancestors is sovereignty. And I teach sovereignty, the concept of liberation from life, death, and rebirth daily. Every day is different. No 2 days are the same. No 2 days. It can't be. It is not balanced if it isn't. You have to have night and day. You have to have seasons change. There's a science and a spiritual explanation for everything. And then there's probably a third. There's a mathematical one, right? It's beautiful over here. I know it looks scary where you're at, but I love my life. It's beautiful in sovereignty. And so, yeah, I'm ranting. That's my high thought, but also my clarity. Today is December 21st. It is the winter solstice. And again, I ain't done so many damn rituals ever in my life. And this one represents life, death, and rebirth. And I was like, man, what an interesting day, because I'm also supposed to be on my cycle according to the charts that I follow. And I was like, if this bitch says bye-bye tonight, because I'm a midlifer, I'm in perimenopause. if this bitch says goodnight tonight, and scene, eat, no crumbs, let her cook. Oh my gosh, if my period leaves me tonight and never comes back, baby, she is here. She is ready. She is ready. I have done all the work for the vision I have set forth in my life, and that is very clear to me. I still want to serve my communities, and I want to help people unlock and live a liberated life when you see it from the way I've lived it. If you want to know how I live my life, my record is squeaky clean, honey, squeaky clean and forgiven. So if you want to know what life feels like, living liberated daily and having to do the work daily, and what type of work you can do, yeah, I might need to set up a liberation lab or a masterclass. So that's my rant for the winter solstice. Life, death, and rebirth all in one day.